It's Friday. Yay. It's Friday at Coffee and Headlines. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is our gathering where we take a look at headlines from our city, from our state, Jalisco, from our country, Mexico. We take a look at your ideas, your comments, your suggestions, and I keep getting comfortable getting ready for today's broadcast. How is everybody doing today? What is everybody up to today? I'm going to have lunch with some dear friends. And the rest of the weekend, I'm hoping to do as little as possible. But before that, we have to take a look at what's going on today. Today is April 22nd, and it is always a pleasure to get together with you. And as always, if you are new to our broadcast, new to our live interaction here on Facebook, please let us know by writing the word new in your comment. We'll be so very happy to give you a proper welcome. And then, if you have something truly important that you wish to bring up during the broadcast, or a question that is really, really frying your noodles, please add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment or question, and we'll be happy to address it during the second half of the broadcast. Today, we have a little bit of everything from good news to important news to things to keep in mind, and we have a few laughs on the second half of the broadcast, and we have a walk around. So what could go wrong today? Let's get started and find out. So COVID vaccination continues to be promoted here in Puerto Vallarta and the rest of the state as health authorities are making first, second, and booster shots available to the population at a number of local health centers. Folks over 60 and those working at local hospitals are starting to receive their second booster shot. And there have been questions about where to go to receive this second shot now that we don't have the massive vaccination campaigns that we used to have. So I want to once again refer to the website where you will find a directory. As you can see, there are 9 health centers in Puerto Vallarta where you can get the vaccines if you need them between now and April 29. And this list of health centers does not even include the 2 IMSS hospitals that were mentioned yesterday as well. So it is a good idea to bookmark this website and keep it handy for future reference, or at the very least to identify the health center or hospital nearest your home and keep its location in mind, even if you don't think you need hospital services at present time. The COVID vaccination campaigns have been essential in decreasing COVID-related hospitalizations and deaths, said Zoe Robledo, General Director of Mexico's Social Security Institute, or IMSS. I believe many of us know this to be true, and it's comforting to see the federal, state, and municipal governments working together and exhorting the population to get vaccinated. That said, authorities are already predicting that COVID will once again surge this summer, sometime between July and August, and then again sometime in December and January. Authorities are also clarifying that if no new COVID variants are detected and the vaccination strategy continues as it has, it is very likely that the magnitude of these upcoming surges will be smaller when compared to the spike we experienced at the beginning of the year. Here's something else to be concerned about, or at least be mindful about. It is getting warmer out there, and as usual, when temperature increases, scorpions come out to play. The good news is that scorpion bites are not as common here in Puerto Vallarta as they are in other parts of the state, but they do happen. So far this year, 8,570 cases of scorpion bites have been reported in the state of Jalisco's hospital system, with 915 of those taking place in Guadalajara's metropolitan area alone, making our state, or placing our state rather, in the dubious top spot when it comes to scorpion bites nationally. Again, nothing major to worry about, but even so, I've located a reference, website from the Mayo Clinic indicating what to do should you be stung by a scorpion. The good news is that most of the cases in adults do not need hospitalization, but children are a lot more susceptible to scorpion bites. Moving right along, the homeless campground we reported in Fluvial a few weeks ago is still there and apparently expanding, according to this news note. There is very little to do here other than to avoid interacting with the nice people living there and to report to the authorities so solutions to address the problem can be found. As we wrap up Semanas de Pascua, or the second vacation week here in Puerto Vallarta, I'm amused by this headline stating that tourists cram the Malecón, as clearly seen in this photograph. Lots of tourists, yes, cramming. Or maybe not. One way or another, I do hope that those that had the opportunity to take a vacation here in Puerto Vallarta were able to enjoy themselves and return home safely, that those who were counting on tourism to better their economy were able to do so, and for the rest of us, that we can continue enjoying our city as usual. And speaking of business as usual, we know that the Insurgentes Street Bridge is now open. We also know that the final details are being addressed to finish construction there. We also know that the Cuale market is also pretty much ready to go, with just a few details missing, like the access ramp. But what does it look like inside? I took a quick walk around 2 days ago. Let's take a look. Hello. I'm standing upstairs on the temporary ramp to gain access to the mercado. I was curious to see what things are looking like. Buenas tardes.
Que le vaya bien. Buenas tardes. Bienvenido, ¿eh?
Gracias. What things are looking like here at the mercado, particularly in the locales that are closer to the area that was damaged. And I can see that a number of shops are back, at least on the second story of the market. I suppose the first story or ground level is still suffering from the repairs that are being done, and I'm going to approach the food side. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
We are familiar with what's being sold here at the mercado. Buenas tardes. So we don't need to spend a lot of time looking at that. But it's nice to see that the restaurants are in business.
Yummy.
A lot of people are eating at the restaurants, and that is always good to see. Why? Because you can always get a good and affordable meal here at the mercado. And now I'm going to go downstairs to see what things look like on the main level.
crochet and funky crochet.
But not for me to wear.
No, I don't need new ideas of things to make. Okay. Buenas tardes.
¿Agua en plata, señor?
Hoy no, muchas gracias. I always say good afternoon or good morning, and I always say no thank you when I don't want to buy something. Aha. So now we are on the main level, inside, as close to the river as we can be, and I can see that some of the locales right in front of me have not been fixed just yet. I imagine it's just a matter of time. I see that a lot of the work is in progress. Now, do we know if these booths have not been put in operation because they're damaged, or maybe because the economy has not been that great and the booth owners cannot afford the repairs? We don't know. But what we do know is that the mercado is springing back to life, and I am sure that Semana Santa is helping this along. And now we're back outside, and we are at the street level of the makeshift ramp. Again, we don't know when this is going to be completed, but we get an idea of what it's going to look like. And this, my friends, is the bridge and the state of affairs here at the Mercado del Cuale on April 20th, 2022. Happy 420.
Yay! Now let's have a quick look at the weather for the weekend. Okay, I don't understand that reference, so I don't know what it is. I hired Barry to assassinate a meatbag. Okay, whatever. It is 22 degrees right now, feels like 24. Humidity is wicked high at 72%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 72. Our weather forecast for today: clear through the day with a high temperature of 29 and a low temperature of 18. Tomorrow, Saturday, another clear day with a high temperature of 29 and a low of 18. And we wrap up the weekend with yet another clear day, a high of 30 and a low of 18. So again, humidity is coming back. We might as well embrace it. Not much choice there. Moving right along, a few other leisurely headlines, starting with this one. For some, this majestic palm tree located along Paseo de la Reforma Avenue in Mexico City is nothing more than a tree. But when you consider that it has been there for over 100 years adorning this important throughway, it is sad to learn that it will be removed this Sunday due to a yet-to-be-identified pathogen that caused its demise. Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum announced a tribute ceremony commemorating its historic relevance and a subsequent citizen consult as to what to replace it with. What kind of tree are they going to put there? We don't know yet. Yesterday, I mentioned this beautiful mezzanine at the Joint Co-working Hotel on Insurgentes Street as a possible place to sit, relax, and catch your breath if you are out and about in the neighborhood running errands. As I promised, I wanted to show you the photograph I took. And it is worth mentioning that the checkered floor you see in the image is the original floor in the property. And it is nice to see that those involved in the building have seen fit to preserve as much of its original features as possible. Also from yesterday, you made me laugh this morning, and it's nice to see how many of you decided to embrace our latest captioning challenge with this image that I posted. There were all kinds of absolutely wonderful things. From Mark saying, I was wondering where I put my super Goldie Schlong outfit, to Ronnie Lee saying home economics project gone terribly wrong. Paco Tequila said Schlong white. All I know is I was walking down down the street 2 days ago, and I spotted this beautiful statement, and I figured, oh my goodness, this is definitely worthy of a caption challenge. Thank you very much for responding. The caption challenge is still on our Facebook page in case you want to give it a go. But there's already some very, very funny things going on there. Also, I wanted to chuckle with you. I went to the movies not too long ago, and I always tickled at some of the translations that they make for movie titles in Spanish. The movie promoters and marketers always trying to find a way to entice people to go. And the latest chuckle I got was from this upcoming film called Memory, starring Liam Neeson. It's coming to our screen sometime in the near future. Of course, we know that the Spanish translation of memory is memoria, and the promoters of the film saw it fit to change the title to Asesino sin Memoria. So this means that what is known as memory in English is known as murder without memory in Spanish. And just like this, there are so many funny cases of films that are whose titles are changed just to improve the odds that people will go see them. And it's always curious to see some of the decisions that they make when it comes to translating film titles. Last but not least, we've mentioned the Riviera Market in the past. This is the market that sets up shop along the Pitillal Riverside Park across from Cinépolis. And the Riviera Market is coming back tomorrow from 1 to 8 p.m. in case you happen to be in the neighborhood. This is yet another option in the city to get secondhand clothes, to get local food, locally produced chingaderas, enjoy some live music, and so forth. Again, this will happen tomorrow from 1 to 8. And as always, we will leave the information in the show notes for you to enjoy it if you choose to do so. And now let us take a quick look at your comments and questions and cues just to see what everybody is up to. Yes, Raymond, we made it. I love it because it's the end of the week, and between the heat and the humidity. This week was one of those weeks in which I'm just so happy that it's over. Yes. Let's see. Betsy Ann says, Buenos dias from Emiliano Zapata. All of a sudden, it was much quieter on my block last night. Yes, apparently most of the city is going back to business as usual for a little while. Ramon says, I'm here, finally made it back yesterday. Short line in immigration, but customs was checking everyone, no matter if you got red or green. I'm glad to know that you're here, Ramon. Enjoy your stay. Let's see. Got my second booster yesterday on the Malecón near Serrano's restaurant. Betsy, that's great to hear. Yet another location where one can get this done. Marie went to the Naval Hospital yesterday, in and out in 20 minutes. Way to go. Another great place. Let's see what else. There are questions about what boosters are being used. And as far as I know, it is all AstraZeneca at this point. Dun, 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 dun. I think I'm all set with hats, Alex and Steve, but I was tickled by your answer. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I was tickled by your answer in the caption this challenge. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Barry is a show about a hitman trying to become an actor on HBO. Harry Winkler is also on it. Thank you very much for the reference. Heather asks, I don't know if this is for me or for whom, are you going to Plaza Tapatia? Not entirely sure about that. Paco, have you heard of the new requirement pertaining to RFC for permanent and temporary visa residents, the Mexican tax identification number? No, I haven't, Spencer Tracy, because I am a national Mexican, so I don't follow these kinds of information queries. But if you hear of something and if you see a headline, please let us know. Ricky shares a mouthful, and I don't know what that is, but it is a big, 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 big link. We're not going to click on it because it looks really frightening. There's another question here. Is the La Cruz market being extended into May? Heard a rumor. Marie, the best way to find answers to those kinds of questions would be to visit the Facebook page for the market, and I know that they have one, and there you should be able to find an answer to your question. And this, of course, brings us to the end of today's broadcast. As always, I'm grateful for your questions, your comments, your ideas, and I'm grateful for another week in which we've had fun making connections. Tomorrow, we'll be back as usual, and then we take Sunday. Oh, sorry about the link. If you click, it's a penis puzzle. Well, that's good to know. I may click on it today or maybe tomorrow. After all, it is the weekend. And speaking of weekend, I hope you have a good one. I hope you'll stay cool and have a great weekend. And I hope you'll be back tomorrow for more coffee and headlines. And if not, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.